Hello and welcome back to November Chaparral. I am your co-editor, Aisha Connor-Gayden, pronouns she, her, hers, and I am delighted to be here with our wellness coordinator, Jason Plourde. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing lovely. How are you?
Great. I know we're really putting it on for you guys today because we were just talking about speaking of process, the process of, going into break, but also just being alive at this point, retaining, doing things that we need to do. So you'll get a little bit more behind the scenes from Jason as we kind of talk about the behind the scene work of a wellness coordinator at Glendale Community College. So let's just jump right in. So let's talk about that. What are some of the kind of skills, resources, and tools you use to do this work?
It kind of varies. Obviously, you have to be very, very organized, which sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. But you have to think of it in terms of you're planning ahead. So we're in November, we're, a month until the fall semester is over, and I'm already thinking about what's going on for winter, for wellness offerings, and what's going on for spring for wellness offerings, because I need to, contact people. Can you do this? Can you do that? Are you available on these dates? So kind of the planning ahead is the biggest thing. It's not the semester rolls around and I say, okay, we're doing this. It takes a little bit of planning out. So a lot of the work that you don't see from me is kind of the behind the scenes stuff. Everybody sees me in the fitness center if you come into faculty and staff hours, but that all has been pre-planned, a month or two in advance. So obviously you have to be organized in order to remember when you tell people what their, the schedule is and all things like that. So organization, huge, and then, future planning is huge for me.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of us do our semester. We live by semesters now, or terms, because we work at Glendale Community College, so we are always thinking that kind of a little bit ahead. But you've touched on an interesting thing, which is communicating with different kind of bodies that are involved. So talk about that. So you have people who are at the student center along with you, and so you're planning their schedules. How are you kind of communicating all these different changes? Are you guys on email? Are you texting? What's the culture of the wellness kind of coordination here?
Text, emails, it mostly text if it's people that are already, that have already worked for the wellness program. It's pretty simple. If it's someone we had to get a new yogi for yoga, and I know that we do offer yoga classes on campus, but I don't know who's currently teaching those. So I reached out to Victor Robles in Visual and Performing Arts to do you have someone you could recommend? So knowing your kind of the resources that you can use for people that are going to be teaching the classes that we offer, that helps. But a lot of the people, like I said, are already part of the teaching community for the wellness program, so it's a little more informal text. Hey, what do you want to do? As far as how we decide what we're going to put out, generally every couple of years, I'll put out an email campus-wide. What would you like to see from the wellness program? What offerings can we offer? And sometimes, we get some great, ideas, but just the feasibility of doing that is kind of hard to do. That's something I sent out last semester. And, I'm going to be sending, prime example, we had the Garfield campus. I offer something at the Garfield campus, and the person that really, really liked Zumba is no longer at the Garfield campus. They're here on the Verdugo campus. So now I have to look at something that and she did a great job recruiting people to attend it, but now I have to find something different that the Garfield campus will like, because the Zumba at Garfield this semester hasn't been well attended. Mm-hmm. That's just one of those things that you have to always be changing, evolving, just like as an instructor, different methods come up, teaching methods. So it's very, very similar for the wellness program. Just think about it. It's wellness teaching right? But just in a different aspect, a different way. So,
are you looking at kind of wellness trends too? Because I mean, we are in the I don't want to call us the capital of wellness, but I feel like Los Angeles is so mired in like wellness culture. So I know like we picked up a pickleball class, so some of it, like you said, is the instructional. But for the program, how do you think about what people will want to do besides just the request? Are you kind of looking at like magazines or like industry trends and then trying to see if that will work at Glendale? Like, where does that idea come from?
I mean, you're not wrong. A lot of it comes from, I'm also a kinesiology instructor, so that kind of ties in. I'm also a health instructor. That ties in. We have great resource, like Erin Calderoni's a great resource because she's still kind of in that fitness industry, even though she's, her mother owns a fitness studio. And you do want to stay up to date. Like I don't want to be showing, Jane Fonda workout tapes when Jane Fonda workout tapes are not, so you want to stay up with the trends, make sure that you're offering something that's really good for, our campus, and it's something that's up to date, because if it's not up to date, people won't want to do it, and, it kind of defeats the purpose. So yeah, I, try to stay up with the trends, try to stay, and a lot of the people that when they respond to the surveys that I send out, like those people are up with the trends too, so it makes it a little bit easier. Like I said, sometimes it's some of those suggestions are feasible and some of them aren't, unfortunately, just because we're, limited on, space, time, budget wise as well. So it's kind of a balancing act, and I'm not one of the people that work in the circus that can walk the tightrope all the time. So yeah. I try though.
No, I mean, and I think the diversity of offerings even here, and they're always, like you said, expanding and kind of figuring out how to kind of plug if there's holes or people are gone. You always try to find something new to offer through the wellness program. And I think, and I hope our listeners and viewers kind of see that, engage that, and also offer up their ideas as well when you ask for them. So that's very helpful. So let's talk about mindset. Like, you've touched on a couple of ways in which you kind of work with other people and collaborate. What's kind of a really helping, prevailing mindset as you're kind of coordinating of how you want your program to be, how you want to function as a coordinator? What kind of keeps you in this work consistently as other things swirl all around you outside?
So I don't think of it as my wellness program, right? It's our wellness program. It's the college's wellness program. What I envision is that everybody sees that it's their opportunity. And, it's funny, sometimes I'll go walking around campus and people will see me and, oh, I got to come to the fitness. And it's like, I don't want people to feel bad because they're not partaking in the things that we offer. As long as you're being healthy, you're being active, you're doing mentally lovely, that's all I want. That's what our wellness program is all about, is to making sure, that people are taking care of themselves. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with, this isn't about me. This is about our campus community, making sure that they're as healthy as they can be, the healthiest person they can be, that way that leads to being healthy for themselves, healthy for their students, so on and so forth. So it's not really about me. It's about our faculty and staff, making sure that they're as healthy as they can be, so that they can give the best teaching or assisting with students as possible. Mm-hmm. So that's really how I look at it. It has nothing. It's way beyond me. It's not.
So the mindset is more community, I guess.
Absolutely, and hence the name Our Wellness, mm-hmm. right? It's our community.
Yeah. Well, it sounds, you've touched on this too, but I'm curious, given, kind of the state of things and also kind of where people maybe are in terms of their wellness or being guilty about their wellness, I guess is what you probably see a lot more of. What's kind of one concern you feel with like the trends you see out there in the world, but also just knowing the culture of GCC? What's a concern that you have for wellness and that you want people to be aware of?
I think in today's day and age, with all the, you can go on your phone, you can get on your computer, you can watch lots of different things. My concern sometimes is that people are trying to do things that maybe aren't the best for them. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it's good, but some of it's misinformation. So my fear is that, someone finds a video on YouTube and they try to do the workout and they get hurt because it's not like geared towards maybe their level of fitness. In doing that, then that puts them off about wellness or fitness, so that's one of the things that I kind of fear is there's a lot of information, but is it the right information? Is it good information? Anytime I gear workouts for the fitness center or what we do, it's taking into account like who's your client, right? I'm not gonna go through an Ironman triathlon training for someone that is sitting at a desk every day, that all they need to do is just get their heart rate up a little bit, and that can be just by walking, doing minimal movement. So you have to always keep in mind like who are you servicing, what clientele you have, and adjust whether it be a workout or offerings to that clientele.
I think that's a great point, because I know a lot of us see workouts on Instagram, and we follow fitness coordinators from different areas, or like all these athletes have their like special client, right? And it is geared towards that person. They've worked very closely with them. You probably work with a team of people to get this person fit. And yes, you might want the body and possibly the mind, but you have your own personal team here with Jason and the other folks in the fitness center who probably, let's be honest, know a little bit more about you than like, I don't even know any like physical athletes. I almost tried to figure out, I almost said Lamar Odom. He is not playing basketball anymore.
No.
I don't know anyone. So,
LeBron James.
Thank you. There's a person who plays a sport. So please don't do the LeBron James workout. Come and talk to Jason Plourde. Be honest about where you are with your fitness, and he will work with you to come up with something that is both applicable, probably cost saving, because we have all these resources at Glendale, and also fits for your actual wellness in your life. And you will hopefully not break your wrist or arm or whatever else trying to do that. So I think that's excellent advice. And with that, we will close out our interview for this month. So we thank you as always, Chaparral readers, viewers, whatever you're doing, however you're engaging with the content, for listening. We thank Jason Plourde, our wellness coordinator, for always being here to make sure we do not hurt ourselves, and for giving us great ideas. And we hope you will join us next time. So see you then. Bye-bye.